because we are going to make a no-sew drop cloth hydrangea pillow. So before we get started, let's talk through just a few of the supplies that we need. You're going to need a pillow cover. Now, you can get these tons of different places. IKEA makes great ones. This is just one I had around the house. The thing I love about it is it has a zipper in the back, so you can remove the pillow, decorate, and then we're gonna fill it back with our down pillow. This is a 20-inch by 20-inch. That works. You can also use an 18-inch by 18-inch pillow cover for this project. You're also going to need some sort of fabric, either fabric paint, or you'll also need, if you don't have fabric paint, you can also have fabric medium to add to the paint to make it work with textiles. You'll need a wide brush because we want to make sure we get all the paint for the stripes on our pillow cover. You'll need some scissors because we're going to be cutting out drop cloth. And this is just standard drop cloth you can find at any home improvement store. I cut this into 5-inch strips because we're going to be cutting out petals. So you'll need a template. This is a 4-inch circle that I cut out of cardstock. You'll also need painter's tape because we're going to tape stripes off on the pillows and paint them. And then lastly, you're going to need fabric glue to glue on your hydrangea petals. So are you ready to get started? Okay, let's go. Step 1, tape off stripes. Now before we get started, you want to go ahead and make sure that there's some sort of barrier between the two sides of your pillow cover because you don't want your paint to bleed through from one side of the pillow cover to the other when you're painting. So if you can see here, I have put just a thicker piece, pretty thick piece of paper in here to prevent the paint from bleeding through to from one side to the other. So we're gonna go ahead and start taping off our stripes with our painter's tape. Now one quick tip, I never like my stripes to go all the way to the edge. It just is a little bit messier look. So I start with my first piece of painter's tape directly next to the edge of the pillow. It just makes everything so much easier when you're painting. Now we've finished taping off our pillow. You can see on the two outer edges, we have two painter's tape, so our stripes are going to be on the inside. And then you want to make sure that every single stripe is pressed down. You don't want any paint to get under, so just make sure your stripes are completely pressed down. And now it's time to paint. Now I peeled off the tape, and after I finished, this is kind of what the paint looked like. I deliberately went over the paint very, very lightly, and I added a little bit more paint in places and other paint in less paint in places because I wanted to create this beautiful, distressed, vintage look for the pillow cover. So don't worry when you're painting, don't think too much about it, just have fun. And when you pull it off, this is what the base of our pillow is going to look like. And now we're gonna get ready and add our drop cloth hydrangea petals. The next step is to cut out our hydrangea petals. So we're going to use our pattern that we've cut out of cardstock, and I've already cut strips of the drop cloth, and I find it easier if I just cut in squares. So I just cut several squares before I actually cut out my petals. So I just kind of keep cutting until I have enough squares like this, just so my circle will fit into them. So the next step is we are going to take our squares, we're going to put our template in the middle of the squares, and then we're going to cut around the edges until we have circles like this. Now you're going to need approximately 35 circles to make your petals. Now our next step is we're going to actually make the petals. So we have our circles cut out. You want to take your fabric glue. We're going to place a drop of glue, just a little bit of glue like that, nothing major, and then you're going to fold it to where it's 1/3 third. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that is 1/3 of the way up. And then we're going to take one additional drop of glue. We're going to put it in the middle like this, and then we're going to pinch the petal together so it kind of looks like that. And then we're just going to repeat it with all of our other circles until we have our finished petals as shown. Now the next step is we're going to create our hydrangea with our petals. So the first thing is we want to take fabric glue and we're going to glue a circle kind of like this. We're going to be mimicking our hydrangea just like this. So start with just a little bit of glue. You can always go back and add more. The next thing is we're going to take our petals like this. We're going to make sure that they're kind of fluffed out because that helps them to stick to the glue better. And we're just going to start placing them in the center as shown. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you truly enjoyed making a drop cloth hydrangea pillow that is no-sew. It's such an easy project. I think actually between you and I'm gonna go back and add a few more petals around the outside just to make the hydrangea feel a little bit fuller. And then I'll take a few pictures and show you what it looks like in my house. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Comment if you have any questions at all, and like it if you like the content that we showed here today. Thank you again, and have a day as amazing as you are.